Okay, good people. We are grade 10 factorization. We're going to start with common factor. So now, how do we take the common factor, or how do we factorize using the common factor? Now, we have numbers and we also have variables. So to the example that I have here, in order for you to take out the common factor, we have this y squared and then we have this y. Here, y squared stands for y times y, which meaning we have two y's and then plus 8 into y. So what is common here, it's common that we have y on this side and also we have y on this side. But we have only one y and we have only two y on this side. So what is common is that we can take, because we have to take what we have here and also what we have on this side. Since we have two and we have one here, we're going to have to take one here and also take one here. So we're going to be left with 1 and this 8, y and this 8. So it's going to be y into y plus 8. So our common factor, make sure that you also confirm after that by timesing this with this. Does it give you y squared? Yes. And then after that, timesing this with this 8, does it give you 8y? Yes, it does. Then if it gives you that, then you have proven that what you did was correct. Now let's do the second example where we have 3a squared and then minus 12a. Now here we're gonna have to start with numbers in terms of what number do we have in terms of the number that is common on 3 and 12. So how many times does 3 goes to 12? Since 3 goes to 3 one time, and then does 3 goes to 12? Yes, it does. So if we take 3 as a common factor, and also now we have two a's here and one a here. We have done this variable here on the top, just the difference now it's a, so we're going to have to take 1a. So it's going to be 3a. Let me write this a correctly so that it doesn't seem as an exponent. So it's 3a, and then now if I take 3, we're gonna be left with what? With 1. So we don't have to write 1, we have already taken a, so we're gonna left with what? With 1a, and then minus. So how many times does 3 goes to 12? It goes 4 times, so we're gonna left with 4 here. So if you times this and this, yes, it does give us this. So if we must make sure with the 3 times this negative 4 give us what? Give us 12. But we already taken a out, so we're going to be left with a minus 4 only. So this is going to be our final answer. Remember, you must check that you already did the correct thing. Now let's do the third one. The third one, it's saying negative 4b then minus 20. Now the negative here is going to play a very, very big factor. Now we have negative 4 and also we have negative 20, but this negative 4b, now we only have b on one side, we don't have b on this side, so our b is not going to be a common factor. Now we're going to take a negative first as a common factor. We have negative here. So after that, does 4 goes to 20? Yes, it does. How many times does 4 go to 20? Goes 5 times. So we're gonna, because 4 goes to 4 one time, so we're gonna have negative 4, but b is not a common factor since we don't have b on this side, so b is not going to be our common factor, so b is going to be left here. Remember, times in this negative 4 with this b, it's going to be negative 4b. And then now remember, we've taken the negative as a common factor, so we must make sure if we times this negative with whatever sign that it's here, has to give us negative. So the sign here is going to be positive, because if we are saying negative times positive, give us negative. So we said how many times 4 does go to 20? It goes 5 times. So this is the common factor that we have. Now let me do the fourth example, where we have now x minus 1 negative y into x minus 1. Now we are having this and this. I hope you can see that this thing is the same as this, but now inside the bracket it's 2 factors here and 2 factors here. So if we are taking a common factor, remember there is always 1 that is here. As much as you don't see it, it's there. So if we are taking our common factor now as x minus 1, we're going to be left with 1 that is here, 1, and then minus. We have taken this as a common factor since it is here and here, so it's common both sides. So we're going to left with this y. Remember now you need to check, does this times this gives you this? Does this times this give you this? Because it's going to be y into this x minus 1. So this is our answer. Now let me do the final example here, which we have 5a squared b cubed and then minus 15a squared and then b and then plus ab. Now first here we're going to have to start taking a common factor in terms of numbers. So we have 5 here, we have negative 15 here, and we also have what? We have 1 here. So we need to make sure that which number in all the numbers that we have goes through it. So we can't take 5 as a common factor. Why? Because 5 doesn't go to 1. But as much as 5 goes to 15 but doesn't go to 1, because if we take 5 as a common factor, we also need to times. If we times this 5 and this 1 that is here, it's going to give us 5, which is going to be wrong. So a 5 is not going to be a common factor at this stage. So we're going to now coming to our variables. We have a squared here. We also have a squared here, but we also have 1a here. So we must take the a that has a less exponent in terms of number, which is going to be this one. So we're going to take 1a as a common factor. Now coming to b, we have b cubed here, we have 1b here, we have 1b here. So a common factor in terms of variables, it's going to be 1b. Remember, we don't have a common factor in terms of numbers, so we're going to take the first a as our common factor, and then we take another b as a common factor. Now we're going to be left with what? We're going to be left with 5. Now we've taken 1a in this 2a, so we're going to be left with 1a. We have taken 1b in this 3b, we're going to be left with what? 2b, and then minus 15. We have taken 1a in this 2a, we're going to be left with what? With 1a. Now we have taken b in this b, so we're going to left with no b. We have taken a plus, we have taken a in this a, so there is no a. We have taken b in this b, so there is no b, but we are left with 1. Since we can't write 0, guys, there is always a number here which is 1, as much as you don't see it, but it's there. So this times this does give you this, yes. This times this does give you this, yes. This times this does give you this, yes. Meaning everything that we did, it's correct. Thank you so much. It's common factor, this one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, guys. Makebalo.